imagine for a minute that someone is mentioning you on Instagram. This is great. They're in the stories, they're tagging you. But if it feels like it's getting on deaf ears and you're not responding, that could be a loss of opportunity for you. Whether you're looking to turn comments into leads or you're looking to increase engagement or community, this is the tutorial for you. I'm going to show you how to use chatbotbuilder.ai to build an AI Instagram mention response so that anytime someone mentions you on Instagram, you can automatically send off a personalized message using AI and chat automation. So let's get into it. We're going to go to Settings, Channels, click on Instagram, and you're going to see some options here. So once you're connected to Instagram, you can add a story mention reply, a persistent menu, conversation starters, and you can refresh permissions. Usually if there's any glitches or anything going on, this is a good practice. But we are going to do this, story mention reply. So the first thing we need to do is create the flow that we'll assign here. So let's go to our flows, click add, continue. Now, personally, I want to check that I have not sent this person a message in, the last certain amount of time so we don't overwhelm people and send them too many responses. So I create this condition. We're going to click on the play button to make it the first step. We'll move this guy out of the way. And let's go ahead and add our conditions. So for this condition, we have a lot of options here. I can do something like I interacted with this person in the last 24 hours, or I could do something like I interacted with this person minutes ago. Now, this is a personal preference. You can absolutely do it where if you have talked to them in, let's say, the last 2 hours, so that would be 120 minutes, then you don't want to send them a message because you don't want to send it too often. Or it can be, if I've talked to them in the last 24 hours, I don't want to send another message. Let's go with this one. This is, again, a personal preference, and click save. So now we're saying, if the user comes in and they mention us in a story and we've interacted with them in the last 24 hours, we are not going to do anything. But if we haven't interacted with them and they mention us in the story, we are going to send a message thanking them, essentially. So from here, we're going to go to add content, actions. We're going to find our OpenAI, click on the OpenAI, and then you are going to train your OpenAI assistant with the prompt on how you want to respond here. So let's go ahead and do that. You are the helpful and friendly AI assistant for Rolling Dough Pizza Truck located in Dallas, Texas. Your purpose is to thank the user for mentioning them in their stories and letting them know we really appreciate their support. Keep your responses under 3 sentences and always be friendly and concise. All right, so that's pretty much all we need. We're going to say the last user input, that's fine, and then save response to a custom field. This is the response from our AI, so I'm going to do AI text. We do not need functions in this case, and continue. Now we're going to add content, add the text, and we're going to add our cuff, AI underscore text, which is where we're saving. Again, just to show you, it's the same where we save our AI's response and what we put in our text box. A lot of times we'll hear people say, oh, it didn't work. It's not sending messages, but they forgot the text box. It's a common issue. So don't be embarrassed if that happens, because trust me, I've done it myself. Now at this point, if someone responds to this, your AI default message, if you have it set up, is going to then take over. So this is pretty much done. We're going to hit publish. And then we'll go back out to our settings, into our channel, Instagram, and under story mention reply, we will select story mention reply, the flow that we just created, and we will click save. Now, when someone mentions us in their Instagram stories, this will trigger. It will check if the user has interacted with us in the last 24 hours. If they have, we won't send a message based off how we set up our flow. If we haven't, then we can send a message. Just as a reminder, the way that you set up your flow here is totally up to you. You can send it to everyone who sends you a message. You don't have to have this condition. You could say, if I've interacted with them in the last 60 minutes, don't send a message. So there's no rule saying that you have to have this. You can literally just send them here. But I just like to space my interactions out. I don't want to inundate someone who I've already talked to in the last 24 hours.
Boom! Now you know how to set up this awesome automation. So anytime someone is mentioning you on Instagram, you can holler back and say, hey, thanks, and anything else that you want your chat automation to do for you. If you have questions, hit me down in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about how to build AI chatbots, then be sure to subscribe and like, because I have a ton more videos coming your way. In the meantime, get out there and start building.